So a while ago, I got scammed, and being in the crypto space, this is something that is going to be expected. However, this totally changed my approach to money, and it might make you rethink too. Let's jump right into it. So a while ago, I actually got involved in multiple rug pulls in the decentralized finance or DeFi space. We had random projects like ValleysWap, ChronosDAO, and fake airdrops on Twitter or X, just to name a few. Now that isn't an experience that I would wish on anyone, but that has taught me quite a good lesson about how we deal with our money, and it's not what you might think. Prior to actually getting scammed, and of course around the whole crypto crash that happened shortly afterward, I had always been a frugal spender. Usually I tend to save about 80 to 90% of my take-home income on a regular basis, and even when I was living abroad, like you might have been able to tell from the previous videos, I was basically living in a crappy area of London, even though it was a modern studio and all. Most of the videos from a year ago were actually filmed in this very studio. At the same time, while delaying gratification or putting it off entirely, I would focus mainly on working to earn even more per month and putting said surplus into investments. So for example, I bought Bitcoin when it crashed to 16K after FTX collapsed. Now that was a good move in hindsight. However, the entire focus of investing more and putting it in a risky asset that could on its own go to zero or could be taken from you in other insidious ways made me realize that there was more to personal finance than simply saving everything that you made and hoping for an early retirement at some point down the line. Now, in economics, we have this term called intertemporal preference. Simply put, let's say you have $100 now, you can either choose to enjoy it all now or get $105 sometime in the future. The problem is, you derive utility or happiness from both present and future consumption. And usually there is going to be a discount rate which is less than 1, which factors for the fact that you tend to value current enjoyment higher than future enjoyment. What I realized from my experience getting scammed and getting rugged was that the $105 you see in your standard economics problem set that I mentioned earlier are not guaranteed at all. In fact, you might very well have to scale this by probability because there is the chance that you could either lose that money or you could not even live to the day to enjoy it. And when operating in crypto where a single mistake can cost everything, this probability of actually enjoying that future return was considerably less than 1.0. Even events of chance like catching an illness have a non-zero probability, so one might even need to discount their future returns and future consumption by a steeper amount. What these scams made me realize was that there was a much steeper discount rate between future and present spending than I originally thought. This meant that saving everything that I had become relatively more expensive than I had originally realized. There had to be a balance between spending now and saving for later. So what am I doing with my money now? Fortunately, risk management actually paid off and my nest egg is still intact. I never lost more than 10% of my net worth at any point. However, with the recent uptick in the markets, I'm taking profits much more aggressively this time around. Moreover, I am less bothered about whether something goes to the moon in the future. If something is going to be highly risky and have a high probability of failing in the near future, and more importantly, is currently in the green, then I'm going to get that off my balance sheet as soon as possible to fund a lifestyle. After all, when you work in this space for long enough, you'll realize that all of these tokens, all of this money is never truly yours until you not only sell out of your position, but withdraw it as cash and then spend that and derive utility from whatever you have just bought. At the same time, I'm focusing on maintaining or increasing my earning power rather than relying on just trying to pick the right coin or trying to pick the right stock to carry my net worth. This is because it is earning power and not investments that allows to bounce back quickly from setbacks. So I'm focusing on that rather than trying to time the market or trade my way out of a problem. What do you think? Does this tally with your own experience? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, if you found this message of value, do consider leaving a like and subscribing to this channel. And if you haven't checked out my previous video on why I am looking at pivoting away from talking about random projects in crypto, then you're going to want to check out this video over here. With all that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.